Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed on Sonya, one of the most dominant forces in the game right now. The solo lane queen, the team fight dominator. As of right now, the second highest win rate in the game and the third most popular character in the game. I hope I got her win rate right. I didn't actually look at it. She does, however, once again, very similar to Sergeant Hammer, have ancient talents. Mercenary Lord. Is there another one in the game? The Vikings have one, and Sylvanas has her own version, right? Doesn't Sylvanas have a unique one? But still, her kit is in a pretty good spot. She also received some new skins with the release of Kel'Thuzad, which, by the way, they are just amazing. Seriously, some of the best ones in the game as far as I am concerned. I am not a very adamant Sonya player. I do play her every now and then, but she's one of the characters that I struggled with a lot back in the alpha, and I kind of just pushed her to the side. She is so incredibly strong right now, though. Over the course of the last year, we have seen healing increases to her Whirlwind, making her sustain in lane significantly more powerful. We've also seen some alterations to her talent, specifically Poison Spear, which deals a buttload of damage on top of the damage that your spear is dealing to targets, making her burst damage even better than it was before. Follow through is still a relatively often picked talent, but most people are leaning towards that poisoned spear. She can take camp, she can win lanes, she can dominate team fights all around. One of the best characters in the game. So let's see if we can get a good game today.
My blades are yours.
Find ourselves on Brax's Holdout today. I'm really fucking confused by our matchmaking. The friendly team has 2 stealth heroes, which if we have any stealth heroes, the enemy team should have one in response. That's how the matchmaker is balanced now. Those are rules to matchmaking, and that's broken. And then not only does the enemy team get a Tassadar versus our double stealth, but we don't have a sustained character to go along with the Tassadar pick. The only rule that Quick Match adhered to was giving us both supports.
Gates open.
Time for action.
I don't get it. How does that break? How does that break? At level 1, we are going to go for War Paint. Basic attacks are going to heal us. This means that we can clear camps with relative ease. This means that we can also just sit back and auto-attack things in the middle of team fights if we want to heal. Our Whirlwind is very, very strong at healing in lane as well. Looks like we are going to be the solo lane up here, which is totally fine. Oh, never mind. There's 2 members of the enemy team here. Yeah, we can just chill. We can just chill. So the friendly team, Sonya, Valeera, Nova, Illidan, Alexstrasza. The enemy team, Tassadar, Gul'dan, Nazeebo, Alarak, and Ana. If you've never seen Sonya before, you may notice that 2 of my abilities at the start were not highlighted. Fucking shit. Were not highlighted because I could not use them. Those abilities were Seismic Slam and our Whirlwind. Those require Fury in order to be used. And we generate Fury by auto-attacking. Of all the things to jump in on, you chose the minion. We generate Fury by auto-attacking or by using our Q on enemy, anything that has an enemy HP bar, we can use our Q on. So I'm assuming our lane presence down in the bottom lane. So Illidan, go bot, let the stealth cares roam. Because otherwise we're not gonna have any fucking lane clear. Thank you though. If like a gank needs to happen quick, and it needs to happen decisively. And when I think of quick and decisive, I don't really think of Illidan ganks. You know what I'm saying, team? You know what I'm saying? Let's try not to get silenced by Alarak here. I think Nazeebo brought our Valeera out of stealth, unfortunately, but we'll be able to use our Whirlwind to heal on top of that. Hopefully she won't be taken down. We don't have a sippy cup, so I am going to be leaving right as the objective is up, so I hope they get bottom. I just have to keep myself alive. Not dying at this stage of the game is a pretty important one. Let's try to rally up there. Valeera is still getting XP up there, even though she's not participating in killing anything in the lane. As long as she's there when something is dying, she'll be just fine. I should be able to beat Alarak in lane if he's by himself, and we should definitely be able to beat him if our Valeera decides to help out. Although we didn't get any stuns from her there. We can't just Whirlwind inside of this zombie wall to stay incredibly healthy. I'm just kind of waiting for her to help out here. I'm really confused. We should be able to take down Alarak, no problem. And we might be able to take down Nazebo as well, especially if he runs that way. Let's see if he's going to juke me. I'm calling the juke. Oh. Oh. Where you going, Nazebo? Where you going, Nazebo? Oh, he saw me.
Done.
Yeah, I was misreading Valera's intentions there. Fuck! No! No, please! Okay, we're fine. Alright, we're fine. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about here, team. Everything's A-okay. We are going to go for Focused Attack at level 4. This is, once again, a generic talent that we had on Sergeant Hammer as well. Focused Attack allows us to deal critical hit damage every 10 seconds, but that critical hit cooldown is lowered every single time that we auto-attack. And because we have War Paint, we are going to be healing based on the amount of damage that we're doing when we auto-attack. So if we can hit for more versus players, that's just more healing for us to have, which is usually a pretty nice thing. Every time Nazebo walks up, we can just Whirlwind into him, then auto-attack the lane to heal back up, keep the pressure up, keep him back, keep him from getting stacks, and control the lane as long as we're not ganked. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be ganked at this point in the game because the objective is so close to the enemy team's base. Or pushing into the enemy team's base right now. Let's go ahead and grab that top region globe and then basically just reset the lane, stay healthy, and keep pressuring Nazebo. Try to keep him guessing. Try to keep him back. Whirlwind is a great way to heal because it was buffed in the past year, getting a 10% increase to healing. Or 5%. I wrote it down. I have it on my notes. I'll check when I die, because I actually don't have my notes up on the other tab because I'm that prepared for this video. But it did get a considerable buff, which means that in most cases you're able to Whirlwind and stay healthy. It also does triple healing versus heroes, so if I'm able to spin in a lane versus the enemy team's Nazebo, then we are able to sustain for quite a bit of damage. At level 7, we are going to go for her buff talent this year. This is Poison Spear, and a lot of people consider this to be pretty OP. They consider it to be a pretty fucking strong ability. I think it's alright. I think Focused Attack, or Follow Through, excuse me, is pretty good too, because Sonya is so capable of spamming her abilities so often. And I think that if your team has an Ana that can give Sonya Nano Boost, then Follow Through is going to output way more DPS. But for this game, we're going to go with the tried and true method of Poisoned Spear. So as the enemy team is pushing back into me, we're just kind of hanging out. Illidan is getting camps on the map right now, keeping that lane pressure up. And we just have to let the enemy team push into me now. They can siege my buildings for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. We should be totally fine. All right. I mean, as long as we keep dodging stuff, we should actually be relatively okay. I didn't get that region glyph, though. Here, let's check. Well, I have a second. So, yeah, 5% heal increase in January of this year. Ouch, 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 ouch. Is what she got. I'm going to go ahead and back. Valeria is coming up for another gank, but I think we'll be fine. I think that's really all I have on my notes, honestly. Oh, they improved the cancel time of Whirlwind. So there was an issue if you were just spamming the key. What would happen a lot of the time is that you could accidentally cancel the ability and make it so you couldn't use it. Because, you know, if you're vigorously pressing the key, it would just re-cancel your E ability because it's a channel time ability. But they alleviated that by simply adding a 1-second timer on the ability where you cannot cancel it. Previously, it was a 0.5-second timer on the ability when you could not cancel it. So it just means that you can Whirlwind more often. There was a unique Whirlwind bug that happened where if Li Ming used her knockback heroic ability, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but if she used her knockback ability, let's see if we can finish off that Gul'dan there. She would actually stop the animation of the Whirlwind, not the actual effect of the Whirlwind, but the animation. And some people in chat while we were preparing for this video, by the way, recorded live on our behind-the-scenes streams, Some people in chat were saying that basically you would just have Sonya walking around and she would be just healing off of everything around her and dealing damage to everything around her while no effect was happening. And I've never seen that personally, but that sounds pretty funny. I think versus this team, I'm going to go for Leap. I like Leap a lot. I think both heroic abilities are pretty viable for Sonya. But Leap is my favorite of the two. Because you can use it offensively and you can also use it defensively. My Whirlwind was canceled there by the fear. That sucks. So I was going to say, you can use it defensively. Let me jump out of this. But obviously I never got to that step. I think even if I disengaged at that point, we would have still been killed by the damage over time effects. So I just tried to stay in and fight. So if we're able to leap on top of Valera, especially if we follow, or excuse me, Ana, especially if we follow up with a Valera stun, leap can be an incredibly strong combo. And it can really make the CC chain of Sonya something to be really afraid of. Because this is a stun here. Although it doesn't say for how long. Maybe it's only a tiny stun. Okay, let's just jump in, fuck it. Look at that CC chain! Look at that CC chain! That's fucking terrifying! We're gonna stay on top of Nazebo here and just try to deal as much damage as possible. Now that their Gargantuan has spawned, we'll let Nova finish him off. Fuck's sake, Nova! Do some damage! Alright, but we got that top thing. We're gonna be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and back and try to join my team. Leap only has a 70-second cooldown, so it's pretty much ready all the time. You can go from one team fight to the other team fight and have that good, strong initiation stun ready to go. The enemy team is able to hold on to that bottom shrine right now. We do see the Archon of Tassadar being used to try to fend us off from it. He is going to pick up a kill on our Alex Straza. Our top lane is exposed right now, but I think... Good Dimensional Warp. I think we'll be fine. Just going to spin on top of this Gul'dan here while I'm trying to reposition. Fear is going to send me in the other direction for the time being, though. And really our objective now is just to hold the shrines until the objective pops. We are losing top right now, though, so I'm not even going to bother going in on this one. We are asleep in the middle of the lane, but we can back up no problem. The enemy team is staying even with us on XP level 12 to our level 12. Nova is going back. Let's see if we can contest top very quickly. We do have Leap off of cooldown again. We could jump right in on this Nazebo if we can get in range. Oh, he moved in? What? No fear! No fear on this Nazebo! And we'll just spin on top of him and take him down. Our W ability is very spammable. I know I haven't really talked about it yet, but it's extremely spammable. Oh, shit. Oh, I triggered the fucking Counter-Strike into my character. That sucks. I played that wrong. I should have stepped to the side there. I was like, I'll re-engage with the spear, and that's all I was thinking about. And then I speared into a Counter-Strike Alarak. That did so much damage to me. Holy shit. Gul'dan currently by himself sieging the bottom lane. Is that a mana, so he's going to have to life tap. At level 13, the main talent that I think is the viable one is going to be Life Funnel. It increases the Whirlwind healing to 35%, and this is tripled versus heroes. I think it's tripled versus heroes all the time. It is. So I don't know why it's in the tooltip here. Mystical Spear used to be the go-to because you could take Berserker's Rage and still get mobility with your spear. But now that the spear is part of your main DPS rotation, I don't really think using Mystical Spear to get around the map is a viable thing to do. So let's go in here. We should be able to spin in this and deal some pretty good AoE damage and keep ourselves healed. Yeah, that wasn't bad. And then we could heal right back up. I'm trying to keep the wave away from our buildings if at all possible. It looks like there is an Ultralisk killing it right now, though. Anyway, wasn't that big of a Zerg wave from the enemy team. They do have far superior wave clear than our team, though, so they are going to be able to clear theirs up, no problem. We're also losing people up in the top lane. Valera being taken down. So this is anyone's game at this point. Everyone missing from top, so I'm going to start backing up. It looks like that Ultralisk shouldn't live too much longer. They're actually still up in the top lane, so maybe we can go up there and engage in some kind of a fight. We do have Bleep off cooldown. If we want to initiate, we can combo this with the Hunt of Illidan for a double stun. Especially on targets like their Ana, that could be incredibly effective. This is a fight we are outnumbered in, though, especially now that we lose our Nova player. Not sure what she was thinking there. Maybe she was exposed with the vision of Tassadar. Silence out of my spin. Feels bad, man. We're going to just leap out of that. Illidan leaping into the enemy team. As I leap out from the enemy team, he is going to be taken down as well. I went in to try to help, and we have a little bit of a suicide problem. Let's... Oh, he said my bad, so I'm not going to lecture him. I was going to say, let's try to maybe not fight 3v5. But he knows he fucked up, so we're not gonna make it any worse for him. Like I said, I went back in to try to help, which was not the right thing to do. When he went in and I saw him die, we should have just backed off. The enemy team does have their level 16 talent advantage right now. Valeera is standing in the bottom lane. Hey, she's moving again. Oh, she is alive. Okay. Woo! All right. Hard game, man. Hard game, man. Let's just go ahead and spin here. Get the top lane moving back in the right direction. The enemy team is continuing to get mercenary camps up here. We need to hit level 16 as soon as we can if we want to put up any size of a defense. We have 3 members of the enemy team spotted in the bottom lane, so I should be relatively okay up here. We'll just try to keep this lane controlled. Keep spinning on top of this to heal back up. The shrines are... Wow, that's dealing more damage than I thought it would. The shrines are active. I'll try to gather this really quick, but we're not super healthy, so if the enemy team does engage, we are going to be in a little bit of trouble. These guys dealt so much more damage than I thought they would. Luckily, we can heal up no problem. I mean, War Paint's really strong. The friendly team outnumbered once again in the bottom lane, and they are being taken down. Valeera dying one more time, making that her 5th. Which I guess isn't too unreasonable. This has to be a hard matchup for stealths. At level 16, the most picked talent is Nerves of Steel. We need to back up here. Dodged it. Feels good, man. Feels good. And Leap saves another life. Nova trying to clean up that bottom push. I don't think that's going to go too well for her. The enemy team grabbing their shrines right now means that they're going to have a massive Zerg wave pushing soon. We gave him the leap for friend or foe. All right, we need to take something. I'm going to try to get bottom. Looks like we might be fighting here, though. Yeah, Alexstrasza being taken down. We're just losing one member at a time. So every single encounter we try to go into, we're always outnumbered. And our double stealth means our team fight is pretty shit this game. Alright. I'm just going to clear this wave really fast and then head up top. Might as well keep this pushing while we can. Get a little bit of XP while we're here too. Hopefully we're not leaving the safety of the wall too much. Alright. Okie dokie. Oh, she lived longer than I thought she was. Once again, staggering our deaths is one of the worst things we can do, especially this late in the game. Now that Alexstrasza is spawning, we find ourselves once again in a 4v5 situation versus a giant Zerg wave. We have not had an even fight in this game for quite some time. In fact, I think every team fight past the 10-minute mark has been one that we were outnumbered in. We'll go try it and use the Alexstrasza heal to keep us alive. Once again, we have to use a leap to disengage, and it looks like this one is going to be over. Yeah, I mean, I can blame players for certain things in this game, but at the same time, most of the rules that matchmaking has in place were just broken in this game, and I don't know why. That's weird. I'm sorry we didn't get a more competitive Sonya game this year, but, you know, you take the cards you get. If we had a disconnect or something, you know, maybe I would have re-recorded it, but everyone was here. We did 30% of our team's damage soaked, so we got hit a lot. So that feels good. Those matchmaking rules, I just don't quite understand. Even though I may not have had the best game here, Sonya's not one of my best characters. She's still worth picking up. Valeera never picked a level 16 talent. At level 1, we did go for War Paint, Focus Attack, Poison Spear, Leap, Life Funnel, and Nerves of Steel. At level 20, in most cases, I would recommend picking up Ignore Pain as well. If you pop Nerves of Steel, you get a shield for 30% of your maximum health, not your current health, so it's always going to be the same number, and it's going to increase every time you level up. So Nerves of Steel is a pretty good way of mitigating damage, but then you pop Ignore Pain right after that fades, and that's 75 armor for 4 seconds. If you're able to spend during that time, and you're healing with Life Funnel Talented, you're basically taking no damage, and if you're attacking a hero, you are healing for 35%, triple that. And it's a great way of sustaining in the middle of team fights. Unfortunately, our team didn't give us too many opportunities to have one of those balanced team fights, but that's how the cookie crumbled today. Up next, we are going to be taking a look at Stitches. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you all next time.